Inakuja tonga nguvu. I go by the name of Ochino, the only Kenyan who's a man, a boy, and also a friend. And of course, before you even get into it, thank you very much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, tafadhali do so hapo chini kwa the bell so that you can support this channel and so that we can grow as a community. And of course, today we are here with a man in suit. Unajua unashangaa ni nani? What is he doing? Is he a banker? Is he an evangelist?
Yes.
Prof.
Yeah.
Karibu, introduce yourself to the camera to the few people who might not know you.
Yes, I'm Professor Fred Ogolla. I'm an economist, governance expert. I'm a strategist. I'm a scholar. I've been a professor in Strathmore for 12 years. But of late, I left my work in Strathmore to focus on civil society, because what has been happening is that you are in class, you're teaching, and you find there's a lot of crime going on in the country. Everywhere is a crime scene. You go to State House, you go everywhere is a crime scene. So it's better to tackle the source of the problem. And that's why I'm now involved more on matters governance, how our country is going. And that's why I'm here to discuss about the state of the nation. Yes.
Sasa, Prof, now that I've known you for a long time, I followed your ideologies online. And now today that I'm meeting you here, I'm meeting you kama umevaa kofia ingine.
Yes.
You're here with a party. Yes. that you may want maybe some people to know, the few people who don't know that there's a party that you are now forwarding. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, there's a party we call Hekima Alliance Party. This party was formed, actually, it was founded, the ideology came out in Taita Taveta in Voi. Why it came from Taita Taveta and Voi is that we analyzed and found out that Taita Taveta County is one of the counties that receive the least amount of allocation in terms of county. Why is because they say the population is very small. Then I asked myself, why is the population very small? I found that the biggest chunk of Taita Taveta land, over 62% of the chunk of land, is held by the national park. That's Savo East and Savo West. Then in it also there are so many rich people who own ranches. You can call those big names in the country, you know them. I don't want to go through people's names, but you know the people who own ranches. So leaving just around 18% of the land belonging to the people. So when we analyze everything about the problem of Taita Taveta, and the solution was three things came. Hekima mashinani. What is the wisdom of the people there? 2, rasilimali mashinani. And then lastly, matunda mashinani. So we found out that if these people can be able to use their local wisdom, because they have some mining opportunities, they have a lot of agricultural things they can do, they also have issues of water and the rest. Without exporting the solutions, they can come up with their local solution to address the issues in Taita Taveta. Also, you find that most people from Taita Taveta are foreigners. You find they are in diaspora. Sorry to say that they are very beautiful women. So their women tend to be married outside Taita Taveta. And they end up having so many families. So many are buried in Kikuyu land, Luya lands, Luo women, Luo men like them. I'm also among the Luo men who fell into this dilemma. So we are all having so many Taita Taveta people living outside, but also they live in the US, they live in Canada. So you find that the population that is small, that defines their location, is actually by the fact that their land has been taken away from them. And also you find that the education system there, they only have one university there, which is Taita Taveta University. So you find that they are not actually enjoying the resources. So we came with this party, and the party is called Hekima because of Hekima Mashinani. But also the tagline of the party is called rasilimali yetu, kumaanisha if we use well our resources, we can go very far. And of course, then this thing blew out to the whole coastal region, and now it has become like a national party where you find people from Busia, people from Homa Bay, people from Migori, Kisumu also joining, people from Nairobi, people from Meru, Nyeri, and the rest. And we defined this party's ideology based on what I call the welfare state. Kwa Kiswahili tunasema taifa la ustawi. Taifa la ustawi is a state whereby everybody should have a middle income economy. Each was actually foreseen by the Vision 2030. And the best way to do this, we said, this Hekima Alliance Party is not just like any other party which has been brought to take power. This party is for the least, the lost, and the last. What's the least? People who are completely forgotten, people who are taken for granted. Some of them are disabled people, some of them are youth, some of them are women, Some of them are the girl child, some people of gender. So they are people who actually are taken to be the downtrodden. The second one is the of the lost. The lost are people who have been misled. Be so many silly narratives, tribal narratives, as you can call them. You've heard about all these narratives, I don't know, bottom up, all those things. They are lost. They are lost because they are not being told the truth. And the lastly are the people who are the last. They are the people that after everybody has eaten is when they eat. You know, in my culture, when there's a funeral, there are people whom others are eating chicken and others eating githeri and porridge under the tree. So those are actually the last. And they are served last, by the way. Some of them, they eat remains. So in Kenya, we said that this party belongs to anybody who has fuliza that cannot pay. That person on CRB who cannot get their head out of the water. That person who actually cannot afford 3 meals a day. Someone who can afford medical insurance, education insurance for their kids. We said these people are so many. If they came together and joined Hekima Alliance and use their wisdom, they can liberate this country and take this country forward, because this country has been designed to with a lot of inequality, exploitation, and exclusion. So we are here for those who are left out. If you are left out of political and economic participation, even your cultural and social participation, then your party is Hekima Alliance Party. Yes.
I think when you delve into it much like that, somebody can see the need of it, because people might say that the first instance that you launched the party around Taita Taveta in itself, it's a plus, because a lot of people don't really have the knowledge of that region. You can say politically, a lot of people might associate Taita Taveta with another party, let's say maybe ODM. But now, when you come in with Hekima Party, are you specifically targeting the Taita Taveta community? And now that I've said it, the influence of Hekima Party has even gone outside Taita Taveta, are you now seeing a situation where you'll go nationwide because of the need for the people that are associating with the ideology of the party, or will you only limit it to coastal region and maybe Taita Taveta?
No, by the way, I'm not from Taita Taveta, but I went there. And when I reached there, when I was talking to them, because we just launched this organization called Linda Jamii. And when I had the sentiments from the people, I discovered that Taita Taveta is critical. But don't take Taita Taveta just like a small county. Taita Taveta actually represents the humanity. Do you know there's a place called Kenyatta Caves in Taita Taveta there? Where also they found that so many kings came there that negotiated peace about Africa. So it's very symbolic also. It's a place where people, it looks like the Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference, people came from so many places in Europe to meet together, Europeans to unite Europe together on how they can actually bring their influence in the whole of Africa. So Taita Taveta is not just a county. Taita Taveta is a melting pot. Remember, they have everything you want. They will have the hills. Remember, now we are in the month of August. We have just come from the month of July. It's been winter there. Yet all of a sudden it will be so hot that even you cannot walk even with a sweater. So they have everything there. They have hills. Even you can actually create a lot of things for the environment there. They can even do carbon trading. They have mining. They have everything. But yet Taita Taveta has never seen as something they don't see the economic engine behind it. You call this region called Mount Kenya, isn't it? But don't you think that Mount Kenya extends even to Taita Taveta, because there are mountains there as well? So I find that important. Then secondly, you know, Taita Taveta is known for trade. They were traders. They have done a lot of trading with, in fact, you find there are regions which has two communities, which you don't see the difference. Taita and the Tavetas. But they look like one community. Look at how they welcome everybody. They marry every community. You cannot say that if you are with Taita Taveta people, you are anti any community. They have married Nilots, they have married Bantus, they have married Cushites. So it's a melting pot of everything. But look here, political party cannot only be regionalized, to be coast only. Political party must be national outlook. In fact, even the founding party, the chairperson comes from Voi, Taita Taveta. We find somebody from Bungoma, who is another founding member. There's somebody from Busia, Mia from Siaya, and some people are joining from Meru, from Nyeri. Like now, somebody has offered us office in Meru for free. We just go paint and we start. Somebody has offered an office in Meru. in Nyeri. So all these things simply means that we are being welcome everywhere. But the fact that Taita Taveta has not been able to segregate anybody. Tell me, the governor of Taita Taveta currently is on independent. Can you imagine? You call it Odium region. How can you have the governor of Taita Taveta being independent? PA has some candidates there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wiper has some candidates there as well. So we find that Taita Taveta can actually be uniting. Sometimes we might think unity can come from Mount Kenya. No, they have already been profiled. Unity cannot come from Luo Nyanza. They have been profiled. Unity cannot come, for example, from Ukambani. They have been profiled. But unity can come from an island which does not exist. And I want to see this to what happened in the Washington, in the US. When they are bringing the United States of America, which is 50 states coming together to form one country, the capital center was Washington, D.C. Do you know Washington, D.C. never existed? It was hived from Virginia state, from other states, and they formed a neutral city where the presidency sits. There is no state there. It sits in just a place which is neutral. So Virginia cannot claim it, Washington cannot claim it, state of Washington cannot claim it, New York cannot claim it. So no one can claim to belong there. That's why I was even thinking if Nairobi was to get so many counties donate land to create a capital city which is not in Nairobi, is not in Kiambu, it's not in Murang'a, it's not in Kajiado. It will be a city for everybody. So New York's, Washington D.C. is in an island. It's not a state. It's just an island which has the capital. It has got where the parliament is. It has got where the presidency sits. It has got its own airport. So it was hived from others and put aside. So Taita Taveta could actually be that county that can actually bring all the 6 counties of Coast Region together and also bring watu wa bara. These people are no watu wa bara, sisi wanatuita watu wa bara. Hao watu wa bara pia waungane na wao. Hata kama unatoka Mount Kenya unaitwa mtu wa bara. Hata kama unatoka Western Kenya wewe ni mtu wa bara. So sisi zote watu wa bara tuungane na watu wa Taita Taveta. Then from there we can actually form something which is very national outlook. Then secondly, normally you work with the people who are behind. No, if you go to Taita Taveta, these people, you cannot explain why they are poor. They have everything I told you. And I think for me, what is needed is that let us go understand what's their local wisdom. That's why Hekima will try to understand hekima yao mashinani ni gani, na rasilimali wako nayo. Unaweza ongeza namna gani na hiyo hekima ili tupate matunda, ndio watu wa Taita wapate heshima. Ndio maana tunasema hekima mashinani, rasilimali mashinani, matunda mashinani, halafu heshima mashinani, waheshimike.
If you have a wedding, baby shower, birthday party, or even a corporate event and you need media services, well, look no further than Safari Lens Media Production. Safari Lens Media Production is a media company that offers editing, videography, photography, graphic design services, and also live streaming. So if you have any event, contact Safari Lens Media Production. And I promise you, what I deliver, they'll do you good. They are professional, they offer professional services, and I'm sure you'll also like it.
Yes.
Now looking into now the region itself also, we have the likes of Mikatililo Omenza, who are one of the heroes that are celebrated there. Maybe for any other person that comes from outside Taita Taveta, as you've called them, watu wa bara, how should they, why should they feel accommodated? Why should they feel that they trust Hekima Party? And going forward, why should they join you in terms of your ideologies? Is your main ideology political? Is your main ideology economical? Is your main ideology sociological?
So first of all, I would say that, do you know why, when you read history, the Portuguese said, why did they settle that at the East African coast? They said that those people are very welcoming. The Taita Taveta and the coastal region were very welcoming. Hata ukienda coast, you can easily be welcome there and you can feel at home. I own a business in Mombasa. The person who gave me the first premise for free ilikuwa mtu wa coast. Aliniambia tu nataka kuanzisha shule, anza pale, akanipatia ufunguo. I was not paying rent for nearly 6 months until my business stood up. So they are welcoming. Before, when you are landed in the coast, ukora imeanza baadaye. You could go and find people used not to lock their shops. You are asking for the way, someone could leave their shop and escort you to where you are going and come back and leave the shop open. Siku hizi hata kanisani watu wanabeba wallet wanatembea nayo. Hata ukienda kupokea sakramenti, wallet yako umebeba hapa, simu uko hapa na bag uko nayo. So the things have changed, but cost was very welcoming. But let me go direct to very important question you ask. What's our economic ideology at Hekima Alliance Party? We believe that the Kenyan problem is economic. I've heard some leaders thinking it's the rule of law. No, it's economic. The constitution is perfect. There's just one part of the constitution that maybe need to be changed. That is the power to recall the president directly with the citizens, not through parliament, because parliamentarians have scammed Kenyans. Actually, they don't care. Don't listen to the speeches they make in parliament. They shout, then they keep the man in power. They get brown envelope, they keep quiet. If they are serious, if they are men and women enough, they should impeach the president. That's all. If they can't, don't listen to anything they say. Just follow what they do. If they are serious that the president is doing bad things to the country, let them impeach him. If they cannot, let them shut up. But for now, let's focus on why we are thinking it's economic. Do you know, we've done analysis and found that the youth unemployment is 60%. The youth underemployment is 20%. That means 80% of our young people are not getting their skills and talents utilized properly. And maybe if you look at numbers, those percentages are just numbers people don't understand. Every year, 1 million students graduate from university. Every year. So when Ruto became president in 2022, 1 million came. 2023, 2 million. 2024, 3 million. This year will be 5 million. Next year, 6 million. 2027, 5 million, 7 million, 6 million. So imagine in a span of 5 years, we should have 6 million people joining what I call an employment market. You know, before you used to talk about job market, isn't it? Yeah. There's no job, so there's no job market. That one died long time ago. We're having an employment market. So can you imagine churning 6 million people unemployed in 5 years? How do you deal with that? It's an economic problem. Their school fees have been paid. Their parents have sold the land. Some of them have sold their property. Some of them have sold their animals to take them to school. Then they are jobless. Then they are being shot with bullets and the rest. So the Kenyan problem is economic. When you see Gen Z coming to the street, it's an economic problem, which means that there was education, but someone didn't connect the dots from, if you begin education this year for free, you must know 10 years from now, there will be people joining campuses and they want to get jobs after campuses, isn't it? And if you don't find a way to get the job, they are going to come after you. So the problem is what? Economic. But just forget about numbers. Inflation rate is 5%. In China is 0.2%. Interest rates are average 24%. In the US it is 4.2%. In China it's 3.9%. Exchange rate, Kenya shillings, 130 to the dollar is too high for you to be competitive. That's why our interest rates are high, and inflation as well. So the economic figures are very bad to us. The debt, out of the 69% of the national revenue is being used for debt repayment. The benchmark should be 30%. So we are 39% above the benchmark. So this is a problem. So because that's a problem, Hekima Party leadership sat down and came up with an economic model called Evolve. Evolve. So economy needs to evolve. Agricultural sector needs to evolve. Tourism sector needs to evolve. Healthcare needs to evolve. Education needs to evolve. So what is Evolve? Evolve is a 6-letter word, which is an acronym, and E means economic turnaround. Economic turnaround means that before now, there used to be sectors that were performing very well. There used to be cotton. Kikomi was there. Rice factories were doing very well. Now rice is being imported in the country where we are doing duty-free, isn't it? You go to tea, coffee, apparel, go to dairy. Mukroini Dairy has milk that they cannot even bring to the market, isn't it? Githunguri Dairy has milk. Those industries are dying because of the economic policy. So when Hekima Alliance Party forms a government, it will ensure that we turn around any sector of the economy which was performing before and no longer perform. That's E. V, value addition. You go to so many industries, we export so many things, which we export raw materials, then again we buy finished products back. Can you imagine that we are importing toothpick? What is it that we can't do to manufacture toothpick? Just toothpick. What technology do you want? When we are having Mobius as a car manufacturer in Kenya, can't we do toothpick?
We can.
We used to produce mask here during COVID, isn't it? Between a mask and toothpick, which one is better? So we can do value addition and export our products because we are saying that 20% of our exports are raw materials. Only 80% are exported raw. 20% only are sort of given mini, like coffee or tea, minimum sort of a value addition, but we need to have maximum, because some people take our tea, blend with their tea and export and make more money. For us, we are just selling for free. Our avocado, we export raw avocado. What if we export avocado oil? Yet we import oil again after we export avocado, which is a source of oil. So we can do value addition to create jobs. Now, when you generate jobs in Kenya through value addition, what will happen? You lower the inflation rate, isn't it? Secondly, you are going to ensure that you lower the interest rates, because when the economy is well, the pricing of risks is lower, and therefore interest rates goes down. When you produce more to the point we're exporting, our Kenya shillings will have high purchasing power, because people have to buy the Kenya shillings to buy our produce. Therefore, with the high demand for Kenya shillings, there will be high strength of the Kenya shilling, and therefore our exchange rate will be going down and will become competitive. So we believe on that value addition. The second, I'll talk about O, optimized talent. Optimized talent is that when you see young people without job, the one I'm talking about, we are not doing well on that. Because young people can do well in sports. I'm very happy Harambee Stars beat DRC, Congo last evening. But also we need to have a robust way on which you can have robust infrastructure for sports in the country, in all the regions in the country. We also have to have a robust academy, grassroots, that feeds the national team and the teams, the Kenya Premier League. We also need to have a very robust technical coaching that can coach teams from the grassroots level to the top level. We also would like to have, let's say, a network of players that we can actually bring a culture and commitment for football. So those can actually take us further. So sports is an area, optimize the talent in sports, in arts, of the youth in arts, music, but also women. Women are very good in starting small businesses. My mother was a small trader in a local market in Ogolla. So that is another thing, but also the talent of the older people. I was talking to another woman when we met. I was asking her, how can you use arts to unite Kenyans? So people in arts industry can also be used to kill tribalism by people realizing that all tribes are actually the same. They aspire for peace, they want harmony, they want love, they want development. So there are commonalities in all communities. So those are talents that can be used to unite Kenyans. So optimize talent. The next one is L. We call that leverage strategic partnerships. You know, when you want to even offer free primary education, you have to offer education, free healthcare, and also just build infrastructure. There are so many partners out there, Ochino, who wants to work with us. But the problem is that we have a lot of corruption, red tapes, and bureaucracy. So at Hekima Alliance, we have said that we are going to be lean and clean. Lean so that we manage a government that does not burden people with a lot of taxes. Actually, we believe that the salaries of politicians should be slashed by 50%. Yes, why we are saying that is that, you see, politicians have to have their salary match with GDP contribution. You cannot be sitting in parliament, you make no policy to go GDP, yet you add your salaries. And we give you inflation adjustment. Did you see what happened to teachers now? A teacher being added 36 shillings. 36 shillings. If I add you 36 shillings your salary, what is that? That's an insult. But if you look at the contribution of teachers to GDP is very high. Politicians is negative. The more politicians we have, the less growth in GDP.
Yeah.
And the more politicians, the less we have, maybe the better. Now you have 290 elected MPs. Parliament is full with almost 600 people, isn't it?
Yeah.
What have you seen in growth in policy? The fastest 2 years finance bill. So why should they be earning so much salary and giving us no value, yet teachers who actually make who we are, including them, are earning peanuts and being added 36 shillings. So we want to ensure that we operate a lean and clean government where salaries will be well done so that everybody can actually earn what they have done. Productivity must be measured. And you see, for example, if you go to State House, there are 3 gates. There's gate A, there's gate B, and gate C. If you're a businessman in London or in New York, you want to come to do business in Kenya, which gate do you pass through?
I don't think it's gate A.
So gate A is official. They tell you have to write a letter. It will take you 6 months, 1 year to see the president. Because the president has officially decided to operate from State House, not the office of the president. You know, if the president was operating from office of the president, you would just go and open door policy and say, I want to see the president, if there's a chance you see him, isn't it? Why is he in State House? You can't see him. Have you seen the president, William Ruto, any day on Harambee House? Uhuru was seen there for some days, like the handshake that took place on Harambee House, isn't it? Kibaki was only working from Harambee House, isn't it? This guy has retreated to State House and now expanding offices for brokers. So gate A is official. Gate B, you enter if you can hold somebody's skirt or somebody's trouser. Kumaanisha lazima ujuane. Sivyo? Wangapi wanajuana na president? How many people do you know that can take you to State House, you as a young man? When will you ever go to State House? If you must know somebody and hold a skirt or a trouser, which means you may never go. I am in this age, I've never entered State House. Yes. Why? Because I don't know anybody. If I know them, the people I knew have changed because they know I'm opposing the government, so I can't go. Now, the gate B, gate C is for brokers. Let me tell you, my brother, if you have 1 million now, you can go to State House. You just give me, I give a broker, you'll go. Or sometimes we might give the broker, then you don't go. So why can we have a country whereby if you want to see your leader you have elected, you have to pay 1 million shillings to see them through gate B, gate C? When you hear somebody called State House Controller, what do they do? Do you know the JD of a State House Controller?
I think they're the ones who control the operations of State House.
Which operation? The gates. Who enters, who doesn't? What is the operation of State House? What happens in State House that you have to control the operation? Is it military operation? Do they offer healthcare? Do they offer education? Or do they print IDs? Which operation are they? Is who sees the president, who doesn't? Isn't it? So if you go there, if you say, for example, Josephat Nanok is my student, isn't it? He's the Deputy State House Controller. I know him, isn't he? He knows me. I taught him for 2 years. So he knows that his work is to do tax collection for who sees the president. How can we have such like people? Why don't the president go to his official office, paid by the state? The rent is paid by the state, billed by state money. Go there, let Kenyans meet if they want to see you. When ministers want to meet you, let them go to there. Instead of expanding State House for people to have brokerage meetings. So we believe on running a lean and clean government through what I call leverage strategic partnership. There are so many partners who want to fund education, want to fund healthcare, but they want to see the president. They can't see him because for you to see the president, you must see people like Farouk, isn't it? You must see people like Sudi, isn't it? What does Sudi have to do with the presidency? Who elected him? How does he have to determine the seeing president? What is Sudi's job? What is his JD? What is his job title? Why should he determine who sees the president or not? Even who walks on the red carpet and who does not? So these are the questions we are saying that we have to operate a lean and clean government whereby if you want to see the president, you see. Let me tell you, I have met the sitting king of Spain. And I've gone to his office and met him. How hard is it that I can meet him and I can't meet the president? I have met the president of Singapore, isn't it? I cannot meet my own president. I've met the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. I can't meet him. So what is wrong?
But do you think meeting the president depends on the subject matter that you have?
But what was the subject matter of meeting Kagame? I went to present to him the Solomonic economics on the basis upon which we came with Evolve. And they are building a global financial center, which creates job for Rwandese. I would have presented to the president the Solomonic economics book and tell him how to turn around the economy. Is that topic a bad topic for Kenya? Is it against the state?
No.
But will they allow me? When I published the book, they called the university like Daystar, where I was supposed to launch the book, and told them I cannot launch my book in Daystar because they say it's a political book. Yet the book is being used in Ethiopia, Rwanda, and in Europe to turn around the economy. So people have ideas. Who are you on earth to determine which topic people cannot meet you on?
But Prof, so you want to mean, because currently you have the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
Yeah.
It's the one that, the economic model that is now being implemented by this current regime. So you want to say that now that you have an alternative economic agenda, an economic model, apart from the bottom-up economic agenda, you want to mean they cannot give you, they refuse to give you audience to present that
you are
to them?
sitting here, call them and ask them to come look for me. I have letters I wrote in 2022 telling them the bottom-up economic agenda cannot work. It has never worked anywhere. It won't work. I said it before the election and I repeat now. If it's working, why are we having the problems? So I talk about L, strategic leverage, strategic partnership.
Yeah.
I go to the another one called V now. Vulnerability management. Anyone who is vulnerable, the youth, the women, but also we have vulnerable communities. Like for example, if you go to Turkana, you go to some regions where there's pastoralists who are suffering because of water, but also cattle rustling. There are some parts of the economy, regions which are vulnerable. If you go to Tana River, they have their own problem. There used to be bandits there. So those are vulnerable, but also there are also vulnerable, let's say, communities that are also vulnerable. There are some cultures that need actually to resurrect and has to be made look like others. Some people have been profiled as tribalists. Like some say Kikuyu as a tribalist, people say Watu wa Murima. You know, those are all vulnerable people. Like now, whenever Kikuyu speak, they say you guys are tribal. When Luo speak, you guys are tribal. When Kamba speak, you guys are. So we need to address those vulnerabilities. So tribalism is a vulnerability because people fear their names. I'm seeing some people now don't call themselves their tribal name. They call themselves called Jerry. Somebody, I have a friend called Jerry Manifesto Watch. Can you imagine someone is calling himself Jerry Manifesto Watch? Because if he has calling himself his father's name, because if somebody else knows you are Ogolla, oh, you are Ogolla. So these are vulnerability. We have to kill this tribalism. It's a vulnerability. But this will be done differently. So we need to address all areas of the economy which are vulnerable and also finish them. Then lastly, we have environmental stewardship. How can you use the environment to produce for Kenyans? How can the environment give us carbon trading? How can we cure the blue economy? How can we ensure Lake Victoria can produce fish like it used to be? If you go to Lake Victoria, tell the fishermen in Lake Victoria, just go and ask them. I was in Sori. If you go to it's called onshore or offshore?
Offshore.
Offshore. Yeah. You know, when you're outside, it's called what? Onshore. When you're outside.
Yeah.
Or when you're inside. But now be careful. English is not our language. Whatever it is.
If you say that offshore accounts, it means it's outside.
Yeah, so outside that shore,
yeah,
those people have to sail for 80 kilometers inside the lake to do fishing. You know, if I'm lying, go ask them. So how much fuel do you spend to sail inside 80 kilometers in a boat, in a motorboat to do? Hapa mbele ni sewage. So there's no fish that can actually be able to grow there. Even their, what they call the germination is difficult. Then some of them are doing cage fishing. So you have to sail for a long time into the sea. Some of them tell you they meet, even they get rainfall and they can be rained on for hours and hours because you don't have a shade in the boat. Why is this happening? Why are they even going into Ugandan waters to try to do fishing? It's because the sea has not been well managed. The hyacinth is never a priority for the people of Kisumu. Why don't you ensure it works? But if you go to the ocean, the fish that should be coming from the Indian Ocean but also just taking advantage of so many things like mining, maritime opportunities there, research, you understand? It's an issue. So environment can actually feed people. But also we should use the environment sustainably so that the future generation can also enjoy what we have. For example, if you go to Lake Nakuru is disappearing. The Nakuru National Park is disappearing, isn't it? The algae that was there is now an issue because you can never see the flamingos that people used to see. I don't know whether you ever saw flamingos. You know, during those days, even when you talk about the issue of safari rally, how the beauty of the flamingos used to be seen at the back of the vehicles when people are driving there. It was amazing. As a young boy, my father used to love safari rally. He was a poor man, but we could take a train, go out to Naivasha, go and watch the safari rally and see the flamingos. Nowadays, you want to see one or two. If you want to go, you have to go to Lake Bogoria. But even Lake Bogoria is challenged because the sea levels, the water levels are rising. So how can you reclaim this environment so that even the future generation will see it? I think those are the most important. Actually reading from Pope Francis, who talks about environmental sins. How can we ensure the environment is clean? How can we ensure we protect the environment so that this world can remain the way God created it? So that the people coming back can also come and enjoy. So our economic model called Evolve is superior to bottom up because it's been tried and tested. It's the Solomonic economics book I've written is used in Rwanda. Like I give an example, in the Solomonic economics model, I talk about the issue of value addition. Do you know Rwanda has built a global financial center? The global financial center concept in Rwanda, I developed in Solomonic economics model and proposed to these people, and they refused it. Now, our money can come from the US, pass through Rwanda, then come to Kenya. Yet it was supposed to be the other way around. The real estate in Rwanda was built using the Kenyan model. The securities exchange in Rwanda was built by Kenyan. The stock market in Rwanda was built by Kenyan. I used to do consultancy in Rwanda. So why is Rwanda punching above their weight? It's because they are following Solomonic economics. Why is Kenya struggling when they can actually be better? It's because they don't want to follow. And when I talk about the issue of leverage strategic partnerships, there's one thing you have to know, ease of doing business. Between Kenya and Rwanda, where is ease of doing business better?
I believe it's Kenya because Rwanda is a landlocked country.
Rwanda. Forget about all these things you're being called. Today, after this show, go and check, Kenya is only better than Juba, South Sudan, in ease of doing business in Africa. The last born of Africa. That's true. Economics don't lie. I'm telling you, check after this. The ease of doing business in Kenya is worse. Is at its worst. Juba is the only country where we are beating them because they're the last born in Africa. They still have a lot of teething issues and they're actually literally under war.
In a world that moves fast, your style should even speak more faster. Introducing the hoodie that gives you more than just warmth. It's attitude, comfort, and identity. From cool mornings to late night vibes, our hoodies move with you, stand out with you, and keep you real. Make your orders now. Call us on the numbers below your screen. And of course, we do delivery countrywide. Whether you're in Kisumu, Mombasa, Nairobi, or any part of the country, just make a call, make your orders. We will deliver them where you are. But Prof, when you say like that, the people who look at statistics and the recent statistics, people are saying that the GDP of Kenya is growing, the economy is growing.
GDP is not the issue.
Or maybe you can clarify, maybe what do you mean by saying the ease of doing business?
If you want to start a business and run a business, it's easy in Rwanda. Easiest actually in Africa, isn't it? It's easier to start a business in Singapore than UK. Those things don't lie. That's why British people rather go to Singapore and set up a business in Singapore. Here in Kenya, any businessman is seen like a thief. Now, how do you run a business in Kenya when the government can just wake up one day and import 500,000 metric tons of rice, duty-free? Yesterday, you just paid duty 35%. Then today, somebody has bought rice where they are paying 0. How do you compete with them in the market? Ease of doing business means that You start a business, you pay your tax as required, there's no harassment by anybody, isn't it? People just wake up and say you can't do business. Like now, I like the fact that we are paying Chan in Kenya. But when Kenya was playing with the DRC, all the hawkers were told to disappear until after Chan. So how do they eat? If you came to Nairobi to do hawking in Kasarani, then somebody wakes up and tell you go. Let us not lie to each other. I was in Barcelona. Hawking takes place there. Yes, people are hawking there, whether there's a World Cup, Olympic, nothing. How do you throw people away? I like one day the Prime Minister of India, when they hosted the Olympic, when the Olympic team went to inspect the facilities in Rwanda, in India, they told them everything was done well except that there's a lot of dirt everywhere. And the Prime Minister said, that is our culture, that is part of us, which is not to run away from it. Why not being proud of your hawkers? And you collect taxes from them. They're the one who sell for you. They sell bags, they sell shoes, they sell what? And you collect taxes from the manufacturer of those things. People who import those mutumba clothes and the rest, which they hawk, you get duty from, then you tell them to disappear. Come on, man. So for you, let me ask you, if you have guests coming at home, you chase away your house help because she's ugly, so that guests don't see them. Let us be Kenyan, man. For me, in our economic policy, we say that, and our foreign policy is clear. Kenya comes first. Kenya will be built by Kenyans using Kenyan resources all the time. What does that mean? We will never, ever allow imports to flood our economy just because of convenience. We will never export labor, isn't it, when we can actually use this labor to manufacture and produce in Kenya. We'll never ever give foreigners jobs in Kenya, jobs that Kenyans can do. We can never give foreigners contracts that Kenyan can do. Let me take you there. I'll give you 2 examples on that. Currently, I'm sure you're gonna cry. Currently, you see these government vehicles, when they come here with these TXs, we have 1,685 government fuel guzzlers from TX to VX. That's true, isn't it? That's true. Go check the numbers, I know them. Now, these people sign a contract with Toyota Kenya when they buy them that after 9,000 kilometers, they are taken for service in Toyota Kenya. After 9,000 kilometers, which takes 2 weeks. Because if you go to Mombasa and back, that's 900 kilometers. That's one trip. That's one trip, 900 kilometers, isn't it? Now, for 2 weeks maximum, maybe 2 weeks is very short, but let me just take 2 weeks. They spend 300,000 shillings to service those vehicles in Toyota Kenya. To service one vehicle for after 9,000 kilometers is 300,000 shillings at Toyota Kenya. Now, if you multiply 300,000 times
1,600.
Yes, 1,685, isn't it? Times 2, because that's now monthly, isn't it? Times 12, that means we spend 1.2 trillion shillings a year in servicing vehicles only.
Government vehicles.
Yeah, but what does that mean? What is servicing a car, a brand new car with a brand new engine? What are you servicing? You add only oil and water. Now, adding oil and water, you can even do yourself. But why do you give that tender to a Japanese company to do while Kenyans who own garages are dying of hunger here? If you give that tender to Kenyan garages to do the government vehicle service, how much families can you feed? How many of them can afford clothes?
But some might argue that it's because of the level of the quality service.
There's nothing like that. If a Kenyan can bring an engine and separate everything and bring back together a new engine, what about adding oil and water? Bana, do you know what motor vehicle service means? It is just changing oil and water. If I'm wrong, ask the experts. What is a service for a car? Brake pads, you don't change. Brake pads is what you pick from the shop and put. If a Kenyan, you can give them a car which has got an accident and they bring back to the road. What about just changing oil and water? They can't. If Kenyans can't change oil and water, then we better close everything. Do you know why Toyota bring Toyota vehicles here? Because they are Kenyans who know how to repair them. They are Kenyans sent on Land Rover Discovery. They are Kenyans who can put the engine of a Mercedes-Benz aside and put together. Have you not heard that?
Yeah, I have.
So why are they not able to change oil and water? Another thing, now of course you disagree. Let me take another one. I hope this one you cannot disagree now at all.
Yeah.
The expressway was built by the Chinese, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who are the contractors who are supplying sand and ballast?
From the recent report that we had, it's a company that belongs to a Kenyan politician.
No. The contract was given to Chinese company to supply ballast and sand. Then the Chinese companies picks a Kenyan and subcontract and squeeze them. That's what happens. I know some of those people. I used to be a consultant for Kenya. Imagine someone comes from China to supply your sand and ballast for you. But what they did is that they take the contract, not the main contractor gets the top of the pie, isn't it? There's a subcontractor is squeezed. You get me? So that's what they did. Now, why should someone get for you sand from Machakos, from China? How can a Chinese come from China to supply for you sand and ballast from Machakos? They cannot, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't even have the vehicle, so they get a Kenyan with the trucks, they squeeze them properly, their trucks cannot even repair the wheels. That is insane. So for us, that work will be done by Kenyan. There must be at least 80% local content in any construction provided by Kenyans. So what I'm trying to say is that we need our foreign policy very clear. Put Kenya first, which simply means in all our bilateral agreement, diplomatic negotiations, trade negotiations will be Kenyan. If a Kenyan is arrested in Tanzania by a Tanzanian authority, you understand, with no reasons that I can understand as president, do you know what I'll do? Immediately a Tanzanian plane lands in Kenya, I'll arrest 10 of them and put them inside until they release 10 Kenyans from Tanzania. Yes, but not just Tanzania. Like the one on Boniface Mwangi.
Yeah.
If they took Boniface Mwangi and treat him like that, I will again arrest another 10 Tanzanians and put them inside and tell Tanzanians, come and beat them the way you beat Boniface Mwangi. You get me?
Don't you think that would be draconian, Prof?
No, but you see what's happening.
Because that means that even now, the way Mama Samia banned small trade Kenyan hawkers in Tanzania, it means that in Kenya we should also like retaliate.
No. But you see, this is not about trade. Trade is different. Human life. Yeah. Right to life. Right to freedom. That one I don't negotiate. That one? Yeah. No. That one is not negotiable. Do you know why we call the sovereign power belongs to the people? As a president, you have to know that first God created human beings. Then human beings coming together begets the sovereign power, which creates the constitution, is when your office is created. So that office of the president is created first by God creating people. Then people begetting the sovereign power, which begets the constitution when the office is created. Is it outside the constitution? So you cannot play with the life of a Kenyan because you are in office. Never. I heard Mudavadi saying that we don't want to interfere with Boniface Mwangi because of diplomatic. Which diplomatic things? The life of a Kenyan comes first before diplomacy, before trade. On trade, that one can be done because also we have a policy. We talk about the free trade where we feel uncompetitive, but we go for protectionist economy where we have an edge. So, for example, like I said, this rice we're having here, Tanzania itself banned all for export of rice. Now Tanzania is doing 2.4 million tons of rice, which is more than what they need to consume. For us in Kenya, we need to consume 1.4 million tons of rice, but we are producing 300 tons. 300,000 tons. 300,000. So why are we doing 300,000 tons when we can do 1.4 and be sufficient? Tanzania did there. So you must know that the trade negotiation, you must both do protectionist economy so that you can grow your local industry, but also you can also play free trade so that you can also allow trade to happen. So you cannot open up everything. Hata kwa nyumba yako, sivyo? Sitting room is free space, sivyo? But bedroom, my brother, You cannot allow your bedroom at kila mtu anaingia because everybody has freedom. Kitchen, you can't allow even people can put poison on your food.
Yeah.
So there must be areas which you don't do free trade, but there are areas you can do free trade.
Yeah.
So Afuni is about a balance, not about being fixated. The one of Tanzania does not based on any policy, it's based on fear. They are based on fearing other foreigners to overtake them because there are some fears they believe they are not strong at. Yeah, so for me, I believe that Hekima Alliance Party has got the ideology that can take Kenya forward. But we welcome mostly professionals to come to join the party, to help build the professionalism in the party, because execution doesn't need professionalism. But also we want the people on the ground, like women, youth, and the rest, to join the party so there can be a lot of balance.
But Prof, finally, as we are almost winding up, don't you think for any economic model to be implemented, you need political goodwill? And by what I'm getting from your political, from your economic model, the evolved economic model, it seems like it will be more of inafinyilia wanasiasa, because as you said, wanalipa pesa mingi currently, which is true, but if you go hard on them and say that when your party forms the next government, you'll be able to implement the evolved economic model. Don't you think wanasiasa wataona kama your economic model is a threat to them, and maybe they will not give it the political goodwill? And at the long run, kuna sabotage. Like now, some people are saying, the critics of the president are saying that some people wanna sabotage president. The moguls wanna hold pesa, ati pesa ifiki, pesa high flow. Don't you think you as also can face the same?
No, there's
same
something
threat?
like that. Let me tell you, there's a lot of misnomer. People have been told, and they have been made to believe, and that's why we are through here. Some people believe that there's a deep state. Which is that? So in those issues of mogul that will control the state, who are these people? Where do they stay? And don't they see the problem we're having? Is there anyone who is not connected? If you come from Siaya, you'll get a cousin from Kisii. If you have a youth who has been shot, at least someone next to you has been shot in this mandamano, isn't it? At least one of you has no employment, isn't it? So let's forget about these things. The goodwill is people, my brother. The sovereign power belongs to the people. People power, our power. People power, higher power. That is it. If you want to please these politicians, that's why we'll go nowhere. We don't need to please them. I can tell you. Why do you think that Singapore got the breakthrough? When they elected the most qualified economist to become their president. Lee Kuan Yew was one of the most qualified economists who came with economic philosophy, and the citizen says, we don't want you to delegate your vision to a politician. Come and do it. That's why Singapore worked. Secondly, the current sitting president of Singapore is the most decorated economist in Singapore. That's why they are where they are. Now, if you want to please politicians don't care about us. In parliament about horse trading, who gets the brown envelope? Did you hear them? One here, they talk like they are going to change this country. Tomorrow they are reading a statement that shows that actually they are with the same people. How? We have to drain the swamp. In fact, drain it. In fact, I'll be so shocked if they like my idea. In fact, I didn't expect them to, because they have kept us in this system for long. We must have drastic changes. Like I had someone saying, when I become president, I'll strengthen EACC. I will close it down, EACC. Close down. Do you know why? Why should someone who has stolen 2 billion be given a parking in EACC, taking tea and samosa, while being interviewed how he stole the money? Yes, someone who stole 1,000 has been arrested, has been thrown in cell, is sleeping in a central here, cannot go home for 2 days. What's the difference between someone who has stolen 1,000 shillings and someone who has stolen 2 billion? Who should be the enemy of the people?
2 billion.
So for me, if you steal, there'll be nothing like corruption. Corruption is a sugarcoating. Stealing, theft, you go to the cell, period. Hakuna mambo ya kusema ati politician. Why do you want to please them? You go and tell me, take for example, Nairobi County receives a budget of 36 billion shillings a year, isn't it? They cannot even collect garbage. Now, how many years have we had devolution? 13 years. Take 36 billion times 13 billion. If someone gives you that money in terms of startup capital, what can you manufacture? Do you know Safaricom core capital was 5 billion? Do you know KCB core capital was 5 billion? Go, banking sector, the requirements, a bank core capital to start a bank is 5 billion. So if you are given 36 billion to start a business, what can it look like? Can you imagine you go to CIA and they receive 10 billion every year and you see nothing? Where is that money? So why do you want to please them? Why should I even aim to please them? Let's please God and human being. That's all. So put that aside. I can tell you is that many people have really loved the ideology of Hekima Alliance.
Yeah.
Many people are joining. In fact, when you launched the party the first day, we got already 260 members joining on one single day. And people are calling us, is just tomorrow we are going to meet RPP to streamline our infrastructure, how people can digitally join. Let them join.
Yeah.
And let them be part of the party ideology. And in fact, listen to me carefully. I don't mean I'm a dictator, you must do evolve. But our idea says, listen, tweak, and evolve. What does that mean? You have to listen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen. Wacha mambo kusema kusikiza ground, listen to Kenyans. Listen what are they saying, isn't it? Once you listen to them, adjust your ideas, and then evolve. That's our ideology. So we're listening. Our leadership mentality is that we should be shepherd. A shepherd listens to the sheep, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the sheep must know the shepherd. The shepherd must know the sheep. Just like Jesus says, they know my voice and I know their voice. They hear my voice, isn't it?
Yeah.
They listen to me and they hear my voice. So also we are going to be very people-centered. And that's why we are not politically centered. If our problem was political, we shall be engaging politicians. But our Kenyan problem is economic. How do you solve economic problem? Engage household. I sit here, the census shows we have 12,500,000 households in Kenya, isn't it?
Yeah.
We know how much they consume in education. Every household in Kenya has an average of 4 children per household, isn't it? Average. And then they consume 63,000 shillings per household in education per child per year. In total, around 265,000 shillings per household in education. We know that. Why should a politician tell me, oh, we don't even know how many schools are in Kenya, so that they can steal money by saying fake schools? How can you not know? How can you not know and you set exams? If they know all polling stations in Kenya, how come they don't know how many schools are there in Kenya? And if these politicians don't know the schools, how do they do exams? When they are setting exam here, the Kenya National Examination Council, don't they set exam for each and every school? How can they not know? If the best way to know the number of schools is not to go to the government ministry, go to the Kenya National Examination Council. They set exams for every primary and secondary. Pick your data from there and do capitation. You hear me, my brother? Like now, if you want to know how many companies are in Kenya, go to NSSF. NSSF is where all employees of every country get their pension paid, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they have the names of all companies in Kenya. Why should you go to the office of the president to be told how many companies are in Kenya? Why should the Minister for Education tell you? So they don't want to know the truth. So let me tell you, my brother, if I'm here to please politicians, I'd rather just go and sell ice cream. I am here to change the country, and these people are this problem. And that's why I'm trying to say politicians' salary should be matched with GDP, productivity. The way they don't want to give teachers more increment, doctors more increment, nurses more increment, themselves, they should also match their salary with productivity. Do you hear when doctors ask for payment increase, they were told to work on productivity.
Yeah.
Teachers were told the same. Why for politicians? What do they do in parliament? They are always on recess. Are they on recess now? Every day they are on recess, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are they doing? What's their work? So what bill since this parliament came, did they pass that can cure the economy? Tell me one single bill they passed. That after that you can find things are okay. Education, healthcare, economy. Tell me, nothing, isn't it? But they are the noisiest people. We listen to them a lot. We are making them too important that everything they must be part of. Why? So that's my reservation, my brother.
Yeah.
Let us not please politicians. Kenya must come first. Our ideology is to take Kenya back to Kenyans so that Kenya can be in charge of their destiny.
So the final take, Prof, now that you've said that it seems impossible to implement your evolved economic agenda with this current regime, does that mean that now coming to the 2027 election, because you are as Hekima Alliance Party, does that mean that you're the one who will be the flag bearer for the presidential elections, or will you join a coalition? And also in that fact, the people who have watched and they have loved your ideologies as a party, how can they also get to join you as we finish up?
Yeah, so Kenyans join Hekima Alliance Party because it's the party that has the economic ideology turn around the Kenyan economy. It has developed its own fiscal policy and foreign policy that can turn around the economy. I do not have to delegate my vision to anybody, so I'm hoping with your prayers, Kenyans, that I can become one of the presidential candidates. But that is not the time for now. That time is now to discuss with you what is our ideology, because I don't want my candidature to go before my ideology. If you love this ideology, then why don't you declare that for yourself? Because normally, if people proclaim you, God proclaims you, because people's power is our power. What people want is what God wants. So if you decide, why not? But for now, let us not analyze my candidature. Let's focus on, do you love this ideology? And therefore, if you love it, please join Hekima Alliance Party just by going to www.hekimalliancekenya.org, and you'll be part of Hekima Alliance Party. Until you join the party, we can now be able to involve you into the discussion in-house so that you can know how this works. But for now, wait, we are going to publish our economic model in the media, so you can also touch and feel and read it, and also always give us your feedback, what you think about what we believe in, because we are not here for ourselves, but we are here for you. Thank you.
Yes. And also to our viewers who have been watching from home and you like the economic transformation that Hekima Party are proposing, you're free to join them. And also, maybe you have a different opinion, maybe you have a different agenda, also put in the comment section. Tuambie ili pia yeye mwenyewe aweze kuona na aweze kuona, is it something that can be implemented also in their project, or is it something that goes against their project and they know how to tackle that. I've been a host Ochino, then Kenyan boy and also a friend. Till next time, keep it here.
Thank you.